And traffic on the Golden Gate Bridge must be a bitch because people love to destroy this fucking bridge. San Andreas is the new disaster film starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, much along the lines of 2012 and The Day After Tomorrow. This film follows the same beat-for-beat handbook that every disaster film has, and if you go into it knowing that, I think you'll have a pretty decent time with this movie. If you don't take it too seriously and you realize you're here to see shit crash and burn, then you'll actually walk out of the movie pretty satisfied, because that's all you really see is shit crash and burn. You follow Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as he is a search and rescue helicopter pilot, and you're following him, stealing airplanes, boats, helicopters, cars, doing everything under his power to get to his daughter. This film also stars Paul Giamatti, whose main purpose is basically to explain why the San Andreas faults are shifting, why everything is happening. He's a researcher who's written books about this. He knew this was coming, and he had a device that was able to predict this from happening. It just happened a little sooner than he would think.
People need to know that the shaking is not over. We'll get hit again, and it's going to be a bigger monster.
That's his only point in the movie. He actually has no interaction with The Rock or no interaction with any other characters. He is basically there to give the audience, to let them know when shit's gonna happen, why shit's happening, and basically he just turns, looks at the camera and says, "Hold on, shit's gonna get happening." You also follow The Rock's daughter and a couple people that she meets along the line, a British kid and Ben and his brother, and they're on the ground level, surviving everything that's happening. Their main goal is to get to a high point so The Rock can find them and then he can airlift them out of all the disaster that's happening. Much like every other disaster film, you would expect to see a lot of spectacular events. Right off the bat, there's a scene where there's a girl that falls off a cliff and her car is tumbling, and that CG is absolutely, it's just not good. It's kind of asylum-y if you think about it as you're watching it. You're like, oh fuck, if this is what the best they could do, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit through the rest of this. But fortunately enough, this CG does pick up. Every building that collapses, every single time the street rises or cracks happen, it's done very well, and it's actually pretty seamless. It does look good on the big screen, and that's pretty. If that's what you're going to see, and I'm pretty sure that's what everybody's gonna see. No one's going to this movie to see a drama. It's like a deep impact kind of, realistic version of what would happen if these earthquakes happen. That's not this. This is 2012. This is Day After Tomorrow. Shit blowing up, people getting squashed and killed. Fire coming out of nowhere, ridiculous action sets of The Rock taking a boat and jumping over a tsunami, and boats crashing into the Golden Gate Bridge. It's all of that wrapped in a nutshell. If you want anything more than that, this is not the movie for you. This is your disaster popcorn flick movie straight out of the 90s. Unfortunately, that's some of its weaknesses. That's also some of its negatives, because if you've seen these movies, you know everything that's happening. You can basically unfold the whole movie right from the start. Everything from The Rock being a divorced father trying to reunite with his daughter, to the wife who has this new dick-headed boyfriend who has all the money and is trying to swooze up to her and her daughter. And you know that the dick-headed boyfriend's gonna get his comeuppance. You know The Rock is gonna settle his differences with his wife, and they're gonna get back together. You know all this going through. That's what it is. I mean, there's nothing new in this movie besides pretty good special effects, and if that's pretty much all you're gonna get from this movie is some awesome earthquake special effects, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to get out, and I mean now. If you can't,
you go to this movie and you expect to see The Rock. You get The Rock, you get him jumping over tsunamis, you see buildings collapsing, you see people dying, you see all the great special effects of how, you know, the Earth shifts and you see the earthquakes and the massive destruction that they cause, and that's what, you know, and that's where the movie truly shines, in the special effects, in the sheer scale of everything. It doesn't show you what happens anywhere else in the world, only in this one specific area. It feels like a much more contained story than, let's say, a 2012, where they're going from set piece to set piece to set piece and you kind of get lost in it. One of the only negative aspects I would think of the movie was they set The Rock up that he's part of this helicopter team unit. They're the best, and they were over in Iraq and Afghanistan rescuing people, and they're this big cohesive team unit. And I thought that that's what they were going with this movie, that they were going to be the ones as a group going out to save his daughter and his wife, and they were going to, you know, assist the situations, maybe have some conflict. Maybe we're being selfish and we're saving just your wife, maybe we just save other people. But this movie kind of just drops them. You know, Rock, he has this interaction with his team, and you see them for a little bit, and then next thing you know, they're completely gone from the movie. They never go back to them. You don't know who they are. You don't learn anything about them. And I kind of wish that they would have stuck with this team and had the team with him, so it would have been, you know, a team effort. Overall, I'll give the movie probably about a C+. The special effects are amazing. The Rock is amazing. You know what you're there for. It's nothing deep. It's nothing emotional. It's a solid summer destruction flick. I mean, that's all you're gonna get, and that's all that it is. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.